I am Mr. S.N. Jha, a science teacher from NGM Public School. Today I am going to deal about food. What is food? How many types of food are found? And what is the utility of food? What is the importance of food in our life? Food is essential for our life. For the continuation of our life, food is very important. Without food, we cannot get energy, and energy is very essential for our life, for the existence of our life, and for any purpose we need food. First, we try to know about the examples of food. How many types of food are found? Several types of food are found in this universe, and all the foods have their own importance. And for example, in our daily life, we take many types of food as like rice, vegetable, bread, some fruits, and all these types of food have their own importance. And we can get some types of energy, some types of vitamins, some types of proteins, fat, and all types of food have their own importance. And today first we will deal about the function of food. What is the function of food? Suppose we are going to deal about the function of food. So the function of food is also divided into many parts. As like that, some foods are energy giving, and by that food we can get a lot of energy. Some foods are also for our maintenance of our body. And for example, we already know our body is made by millions and trillions of cells, and some cells, we can say that some cells are ruptured, and some cells are not well doing. So for this purpose, we can get a special type of food like fruit, like milk, and like other things. And energy giving foods that is necessary for our life, it is also divided into two parts. As for example, rice, vegetable, bread, all these are also energy giving foods. But sometimes we need a lot of energy for our maintenance of our body. And for the maintenance of our body, we need such type of food which is able to give us a lot of energy quickly. As like that, in place of vegetable, in place of other kinds of vegetable, we can take at that place meat, fish, and some butter, ghee. All these are quick energy giving compounds, quick energy giving foods. So energy giving foods may be also divided into two parts, and these two parts are known as carbohydrates and fats. And according to this, and according to their function, we can divide all types of food into many categories. As for example, and we can say that what are the components of food? Components of food, which part and in which proportion that is found in our food. And by taking those type of foods, what type of function, what type of works that is already done by that food in our body. And for example, we need some energy for our daily work, and sometimes we need several types of hard working. So in that case we need a special type of food, and that special type of food when we are getting by taking meat and butter and other things. All the herbivores, they take butter, ghee, etc. And all the carnivorous animals, and for example omnivorous animals also, and they take sometimes meat for getting a quick energy, a lot of energy at a glance. And when we are getting several types of food, so all these foods, according to their work, according to their function in our body, they can be divided into 5 parts. 5 parts means first is carbohydrate, second is fat, and third is protein, and fourth vitamin, some types of minerals also. Water is also essential, that is also a component of our food, that is also essential part of our food. Without water, in our body a solution cannot be created, a solution cannot be made. So water is the essential part of our food. And other things, some roughest type of food, that is also necessary for our body. Roughest type of food means that can clean our stomach, as like some fibrous substances. Fibrous substances mean when you are going to take a vegetable like leafy vegetable, or like lady's finger, like mango also, all these types of food contain some fiber-like structure, fiber-like food, and these fiber-like structure can clean our stomach, can clean our the other things that is already stored in our stomach as like a waste substance. So by these fiber-like structure, fiber-like foods, our stomach should be cleaned. And in this way, this type of food that contains already fiber-like structure, fiber containing food, that is known as roughage. In this way, all the types of food, they have several types of components. These components are known as carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, mineral, water, and roughage. So according to their function and according to their work in our body, in our digestion, in our development of the cell and development of our body, they are categorized and they are divided into many components. And now we will deal one by one all these topics. All these topics we will deal one by one. First, we start from carbohydrate. Carbohydrate means those type of foods that has some type of compound that is made by carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Mainly carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And in these compounds known as carbohydrates, hydrogen and oxygen both are present according to the ratio that is present in water. We already know the formula of water is H2O. Then we can say water contains two types of elements, hydrogen and oxygen, and these two types of elements are in a fixed ratio. Hydrogen is present here, 2 atoms of hydrogen, that is already combining with 1 atom of oxygen, and this ratio is maintained in all the carbohydrates. Suppose the simplest carbohydrate is C6, H12 and O6. C6H12O6. Here we can see that 6 atoms of carbon is combining with 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen. And you can say that hydrogen and oxygen both are present in the ratio, in a fixed ratio as like in water. One water molecule contains 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Here also 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygens are combining to each other. And in this combination, the simplest ratio of hydrogen and oxygen will be 2 and 1. So, in this way, we can say all the carbohydrates, they have 3 types of elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And hydrogen and oxygen, they will combine in the same ratio as found in water. In this way, carbohydrate, this is the molecular structure of carbohydrate, and carbohydrate is very essential for our body, for maintaining our body, for giving energy for our body. We gain energy from carbohydrate. We gain energy from carbohydrate, and carbohydrate gives us a regular continuous energy supply for our body. And without this energy supply, continuous energy supply, we cannot do any type of work. But sometimes we need some extra energy for hard work, for hard labor. If we are going to do a hard work, that needs a lot of energy from your body. And for maintaining, for giving purpose, that type of energy, we need fat. So second thing is fat. First thing is carbohydrate. First compound is carbohydrate, second compound is fat. And fats are quick energy giving compounds. And these fats contain the derivatives, and derivatives we can say that these are known as esters. In higher class you can see and you will study about ester. Ester means that is the alkyl derivative. Alkyl derivative of carboxylic acid. So in higher class you can see and you will be given for the study about fat. And fats are higher molecular weight compounds, and they contain higher molecular, and when those higher molecular weight compounds are broken, then they give a lot of energy for our body. So they are not simplest compound as like carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are simple derivatives, or the simplest compound of carbohydrate is glucose, but all the fats are higher molecular weight compounds, and their molecular structure is very big, and lot of elements, lot of compounds are existing in that formation of fat. So these fats are quick energy giving compound. And when we use fat like substances, when we take meat, ghee and etc., and due to these compounds, due to these higher molecular compounds, we get a lot of energy from that, and by that lot of energy we can do any type of work. So in our life, 2 types of works are already necessary. Sometimes we need some hard work, and sometimes we need normal works. In the normal works, when we are not doing hard work, we can take carbohydrate that can maintain, that can give us such type of energy for the maintaining of general work, general duty. But in the case of when we need a lot of energy, a quick energy is requiring for our body, then in that case we take fats, and these fats are quick energy giving compounds, and we can get a lot of energy by that fat. Second thing, third is protein. Third compound is protein. Protein is very essential for our development of our body. Our body, we already know our body is made by several types, million and trillions cells, and for the maintaining, for the development, for the division and division of the cell. And you can take one simple example, and by that simple example we can understand that how a one cellular, that is very microscopic, and that microscopic one cellular structure that is already known as zygote, and after development, after division, that one cell is divided into two cells, after division of two we can take that is converted into four, again it is converted into 8. In this way, multiplication and by the division of that zygote, that single cell, a baby is formed, and by the development of that baby, one adult person can exist in this world. So our body that is made by millions and trillions cells, that is already made and already developed from one cellular zygote. So in this way, for the maintaining of cell, for the maintaining of our body, for the development of cell, we need protein. So protein is the very essential part, that is essential component of our food material. So we should always try to note that all the components of food that is needed for our body in some requisite amount and in some systematic or desired amount, and if we are taking only protein, and if we are only carbohydrate and any component of food that is not already existing in that proportion, then our body will not develop at all. And for the well development of our body, we need all the things: protein, fat and carbohydrate. So protein is very essential. I want to explain some extra in this protein part. Protein is the essential part of our body, but after digestion of protein, one waste substance that is very poisonous for our body, that is also formed in our body, and that is known as amino acid. Amino acid is formed. Amino acid is formed by the digestion of protein. So one poisonous substance is also formed, and that is already converted by our liver. That amino acid is converted into urea, and that is already excreted by our kidney. So protein is very essential for our body, but one bad thing that is very poisonous, amino acid is also formed. Then next point, that is vitamin. Vitamin. We already know for the fighting with the diseases, when we want that I will be always cured and no any disease will attack on our body. So for that purpose, for that immune capacity to fight with the diseases. You can see in our environment, you can see in our locality that some persons are very weak, and always they suffer from some types of diseases. So to fight with diseases and to make our body cure, to make our body perfect, we always need in a small quantity some vitamins also for our body. And vitamins you can divide, you can say that vitamins are also divided into many parts: vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, several types of vitamins, and they are consumed by different types of food. For vitamin A, and you can observe, you can understand, and you can understand about that some types of vitamin and some types of component like carbohydrate, protein, all things are present in milk. So we should take milk every day, because milk is said that milk is a perfect food, and that is a perfect food, and that contains all the components part: carbohydrate, fat, protein, and vitamin, all the perfect part that is found in a milk. So some quantity of milk we should take every day. And here I want to discuss, here I want to explain, and I want to clear that a balanced diet is very necessary for our body. Balanced diet means all the requirements. Our body requiring carbohydrate also, requiring protein also, and that is requiring vitamins. So all the components parts should be exist in our body in definite amount, and any of the component part that is not given to your body, then in that case our body will become very weak. So a definite proportion of all the components of food, that is very necessary for our development, for our cell development, for our body development, and when they are found in our body in a definite proportion, that is known as balanced diet. And for example, when you are getting you are getting boiled rice, that will give you a special type of energy, that will give you energy, that is energy giving compound. But when we are taking pulses with the rice, then certainly that energy giving compound rice is mixed with protein giving compound pulse. So by mixing pulse and boiled rice, we can get both carbohydrate and protein, and no one will give, none of them will give you both of these compounds. So boiled rice will give you carbohydrate, and that pulse will give you protein. And when you are taking pulse with boiled rice, and also you are taking some vegetable like leafy vegetable and other vegetables, then you can get some vitamins also, and some other requirements also. So a perfect food, a perfect diet is that diet in which all the quantities and all the components parts are present in definite proportion, and you can take, you can get all the components are of food in a definite proportion. So a perfect diet is necessary. And after completing vitamin, protein, carbohydrate, fat, you already know that fats are quick energy giving compound, and in this way all the things which are requiring for the development of our body, those things are carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, and water also. So these components of food are requiring for the development of our body. Sources of food. Sources of food means from where we get food. From where we get food. And what are the sources of food? Sources of food in this world. There are two types of living organisms. All the living organisms are divided into two parts. One part is plant and another part is animal. So sources of food can be also divided into two parts. And these two parts are animal source and plant source. And these two types of sources, they provide food for us. As for example, from the plant kingdom, we get several types of food. All types, just like rice, vegetable, wheat, maize, and different types of food that we get that are mainly related with the plant kingdom. From animal kingdom, we also get many types of food. As like that, meat, we already eat meat, and that meat we can get from animal source. And fish meat, all fish meat and egg also, and all these types of food, and that we get from animal kingdom. So we can think that sources of food will be divided into two parts. One part is that in which we get our food from the plant source, and another source that is known as animal source. So these two sources are the main source of food getting. So we can say the sources of food that is already divided into plant source and animal source. And from both sources we take many types of food. And we can say also milk is a perfect food, and that milk we get from animal kingdom. And several types of vegetables, several types of food that is already related with sources of plants. So plant and animal both are important. Both are important for our body, for the development of our body, are the major source of food. So on this topic, it is very clear that sources of food that is already divided into two parts. One is plant source, another is animal source. Now come to the point, types of animals. How many types of animals are found? And we can also see according to their habit, according to their habitat, and according to the need, according to the work, animals are divided into many parts. And these animals are divided into many parts. First we can say some are herbivores, some are carnivores, some are omnivores, some are parasites. So one by one you can define all these types of animals and you can explain according to their definition. First is herbivore. Herbivores. The herbivores are those type of animals, and those type of organism which take their food only from the plant source. Plant source, they do not eat meat or flesh from the animal body, and they are totally, all the herbivores for their food habit, they are dependent on herb-like substances. Herb-like substances means that type of plant kingdom, that type of organism that is related with plant kingdom. They have weak stem, weak leaf, weak root, and their parts of the body that is already very soft, that is known as herb-like substances. As like we take vegetable, several types of vegetable we take. So we take different types of food, different types of substances, and that is only related with the plant kingdom. They do not take the flesh, the meat of the animal, so they are known as herbivores. They are of the same category and they are known as herbivorous animals, and in short we can say they are herbivores. Second thing is that herbivores, as for example, we can take several types of examples. Some just like that, cow, horses, buffalo, so these type of animals, cow, horses, buffalo, they all have such type of food habits, and they always eat herb-like substances that is related with the plant kingdom, and they do not take any type of flesh, any type of meat getting from animal kingdom. So they always dependent upon the plants, and they take plant-like substances and plant product also. So this is known as herbivorous animal. And second thing is that carnivorous. Carnivorous means they only dependent upon flesh or meat that they get from animal kingdom. And this type of habit, this type of food habit, they always dependent upon the animal kingdom, and they get the product or direct flesh or meat from the from the animal kingdom. Then they are known as carnivorous animal. As for example, lion and tiger, these are carnivorous animals. They do not take their food from the plant kingdom. They do not take any herbs or plant-like product. So they always dependent. They eat flesh or meat from the animal kingdom. So these two things, herbivorous and carnivorous, they have different types of habit, different types of habitat also. Herbivorous animals can be made domestic animals, but lion, tiger, all these are carnivorous animals, and they take their food from animal kingdom. And third thing is that some types of animals, they have a habit just like that. They take their food from herbs also, and flesh or meat from the animal also, and they are known as omnivorous animal. Omnivorous animal. Omnivorous animals, they have such type of habit to take meat also, to eat meat also, and to eat the product of plants also. So they are always dependent upon plant and animal on the both type of substances for their food habit. As like that, you can take example man. Man has both type of habit. They are herbivorous and carnivorous. They can take meat also, and they can take herbs or plant-like product also. So man is a omnivorous. Man is an omnivorous animal. And another example, you can take the best example of omnivorous organism, and that is cockroach. Cockroach is the best. Cockroach is the best example, and cockroach that can be dependent upon flesh, herbs, everything they take as their food from animal kingdom and plant kingdom also. So for omnivorous, these two type of organism, man and cockroach, they are the best example for omnivorous. So can you can differentiate what are herbivorous, what are carnivorous, and what are omnivorous. Some other types of food habits are also found. As you can say that some are parasite. Some are known as parasite. Parasite means they do not take any type of food according to their own self. They always dependent upon another animals they found inside or outside of the body on another type of organism. So they are known as parasite because they are dependent upon another animal for their food habit. And fifth you can say insectivorous. Insectivorous, they only take and they can eat insects only. As for example, pitcher plant. As for example, pitcher. As for example, pitcher plant, and it is insectivorous organism, and they trap some type of insects inside them, and after trapping they digest inside their body that insect. And pitcher plant, and the example of parasite, you can take some example of worms. Several types of worms are found in our body. Then according to the food habit, one question you can ask that what type of food habit man. The man, in the case of man, we can say in the case of man, we already have, or man like other higher organism also, they have a special type of tract, and that tract is known as alimentary canal. In the alimentary canal we take several types of food, and several types of foods are digested in our body. After digestion we take energy. So this type of food habit is known as holozoic. That is known as holozoic food type, in which a special type of tube-like structure is found in our body. We take several type of food, and after digestion we get energy. So this type of food habit is included in holozoic. So all these are types of food habits, and according to their food habits, all the organisms are divided into many categories, just like herbivorous, just like carnivorous, omnivorous, parasites, insectivorous, and holozoic food habits.